Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's me, MattFX Scalper, and we are partnered with Darkstone Capital in this video, so please drop them a subscribe as well. So today we're going to be going over Bitcoin's hidden time cycle. What if I told you Bitcoin has been following the same time cycle for more than a decade? Not the same price levels, not the same gain or loss percentages, but the exact same amount of days. And if this pattern does continue, it tells us exactly where we could be headed next for Bitcoin. So everyone obsesses over price. 100k is at 200k. Oh my god, is it going to reach 250k? Oh no, is Bitcoin dead now? But hardly anyone asks a much more important question. How long does Bitcoin actually spend falling in price, and how long does it actually spend rising in price? And when I looked at every major Bitcoin cycle, I noticed something that stopped me instantly in my tracks. Across multiple Bitcoin cycles, Bitcoin has spent roughly 364 days moving towards the downside in a bearish market. Almost exactly one whole year. Then something interesting happens. The following bull market lasts around 1064 days. That's nearly 3 times longer than the bear market. Just think about that for a moment. Most people spend an entire year panicking about stocks, investments, shares, trades, day trades, that type of thing. Only to miss out on nearly a 3-year long move that follows that bear market. So, I'm going to jump on the charts. We'll go back to where Bitcoin started from, and we'll break the cycle down from there. From the peak, count the days, 364. From the low, count the days, 1064. So we'll jump onto the trading view charts. Pardon my advert. So we come all the way back to where Bitcoin started then. So around this region, Bitcoin started back in 2010, 2011. And it was trending at almost virtually nothing compared to what Bitcoin price is at now. And we had the first proper Bitcoin cycle. As you can see, Bitcoin cycle from Monday the 6th of November 2017. We had price rise up and then fall pretty fast after. 364 days from this date is roughly Monday the 12th November 2018. So almost a year later, just over a year later. You can tighten the first cycle up to 364 days a little bit better, but I've left them at this date for my current view. And then we're going to the first bullish cycle. 1064 days up, we create these highs up here at roughly 66k value. And that Bitcoin date is Monday the 8th of November 2021. And that's the first bullish cycle, proper bullish cycle for Bitcoin. So we've had the bearish 364, we've had the bullish 1064, almost 3 years later. Then, shortly after, Monday the 8th of November 21, we have 364 days bearish market, ending on Monday the 7th of November 22. That is exactly 364 days later after the bullish market. Now, I don't think that's a coincidence, but I'm all for it, so let's keep going and seeing what comes up. So, after the Monday the 7th of November 2022, we have, you've guessed it, another bullish cycle. So, this bullish cycle, again, 1064 days up, from Monday the 7th of November 2022 all the way to Monday the 6th of October 2025. So just last year, we created a high of 125,000 USD. And again, you've guessed it, 364 days later, we're still on a downward trend. So this bearish cycle that we are currently in is predicted to end on Monday the 5th of October 2026, right before our next bullish cycle. So then, how am I going to position myself to get in on this bullish cycle? Well, my plan is to wait until September comes, so about here, Monday the 31st of August 26, and I'm going to see where price is currently at that point. If we are currently at a low, I'm going to start dollar cost averaging in. So what I mean by that is, I'm not just going to go and place one buy market order and hope for the best. My strategy is going to be dollar cost averaging in at different price levels, so I get basically the best price level for my entry. And you might be thinking, but Matt, why are you going to be doing that? And for example, if we enter the markets around this point, and we enter one buy market order at, let's say, 62,000, just right here, we enter there, and in the bearish cycle, price still comes down, and let's say we hit 44k-ish, 45k. Our original buy order would then be in a 20k loss if we bought one whole Bitcoin, for an example. It'd be at 20k loss. Whereas I can buy a smaller market order, buy another small market order, I could buy another small market order, buy another small market order, and my original buy market order would then be more benefited by the smaller buy market orders underneath my first buy order. And this gives you the best average to get into the market. Hence why it's called dollar cost averaging. So yes, you're still getting in the same area, but you're getting a better market price for it. You're getting a better average price. So that's going to be my strategy going into this Bitcoin cycle. I'll be entering off a few different price levels that I'll already have pre-predicted in my journals. So I'll be entering off them price levels going into the next 3 years of this market bullish cycle. So then, we've checked all the cycles again and again. And obviously we've had, for 1 year down, we've had 364 days. And for roughly 1064 days, we trend up. And again, across these market cycles, we've had different headlines, we've had different price levels, and we've also had different economies. For an example, we've had the COVID crash back in 21-22 or 2020. We had all that go on. We've had wars go on very recently, in fact, with the US, Iran. We've had Russia and Ukraine. We've got a lot of things going on in the world at the moment, but it hasn't affected this Bitcoin market cycle. We seem to be following the same cycle time and time again since the start of Bitcoin. And for me, that's not a coincidence. Nothing is a coincidence in this world. Things happen for a reason. And I do believe that this cycle is happening for a reason. You know, it follows so many days down and follows so many days up. Don't take a genius to work that math out. But yeah, I just want to say that the market rhythm looks remarkably similar to one another. You're not even getting like sharp downtrends and sharp uptrends. Both are looking the same. Both are looking the same. So this is how I'm going to be positioning myself over the next few months. I do hardly stress that you guys, make a decision for yourself. You work out where your best entry points are going to be getting into the market. This isn't financial advice, and I'm not saying history has to repeat itself. All markets change. No money is guaranteed in the markets, but markets are driven by human psychology, fear, capitalization, hope, greed, and human psychology doesn't change very much, let's face it. That's why these cycles are worth paying attention to. So then, before we end, the question isn't, will Bitcoin follow the cycle? I think the question is, what if Bitcoin follows this cycle? If history repeats itself, the biggest opportunity may not be behind us. It could still be ahead of us. And that's exactly why I think understanding time in any type of trading, investing, is just as important as understanding where price is. So I'm going to end this video here. Hopefully it's been insightful for you guys. Drop your comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this, where you think you're going to position yourself over the next few months. Got some big opportunities coming up into the markets. So drop us a message. Let me know your thoughts. Drop comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, please, because that does help our channel grow. And I shall see you guys in the next video. Peace and love, everyone.